Dana White actually fucking hates us. You know, all of them. I swear it's from the top down, we're getting fucked. We're getting shit on. We're just looking up, poop coming on our faces. Like, no, I'm not even fucking around, all right? Dana White in this interview with two other men, one of them, New South Wales Premier of fucking Australia, like, you know, we're talking some guys, right? He should know what the Australian wants. Talking fucking nonsense. It's inspired me to even... This is my first video. And it's inspired me to start this, right? We're talking like $600 a ticket, $700 a ticket. This is nosebleeds. And that's Australian too, right? In America, you're like, oh, $50 game. That's like a $120 game to us, right? So put that into perspective. Nosebleed seats. I'm not talking, oh, you can't near the front, you get a bit of a good... No, I'm talking fucking level 3 at the back watching ants fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like... And honestly, mate, Karl Stefanovic, brother, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, why are you so close, mate? Relax, fucking take a breath. You fucking like trying to kiss him or some shit. Way too close. Oh, and, mate, the slap. What? This is your first interview. What the fuck are you doing, man? Like, I just don't understand. Like, he woke up and he just like, you know what? I'm interviewing Dana White today. This is the first time he's ever met him. He's probably like fucking dead set talked to him for 15 seconds before this interview started. And in his head, he just went, you know what? I'm going to fucking go whammo. He just fucking smacks him. I can understand if they were like mates or something. Like, chill the fuck out, Karl. We're paying for them to be here. Like, they get a site fee. A site fee just is the taxpayer paying for them to come here. I need to have it. Like, what is this? We're going to go through some of the cards that they've been putting on for Australia lately. Now, no, not all of them have been stinkers. Every now and then they have to give us a bit of fucking cheese. But when you look at that in comparison to other countries that are getting cards, right? And everyone gets a stinker every now and then. Australia consistently getting fucked on. Consistently getting shit on. This guy, Chris Minns, you know, I'll be honest, I don't pay attention to that crap, right? But I like the sport. I pay attention to the sport. And when politics start bleeding into it a little bit, I sit back here and I go like, well, what the fuck are you doing for us as the fans? Turkey Al-Sheikh, you know, they got some card in Saudi Arabia. I'm going to go find it in a fucking second. But they got some bullshit card. I remember it was before Robert Whittaker and Chimaev were on the card, I believe, right? And that Turkey Al-Sheikh guy, full crack to shit, UFC changed the card in like a matter of a week. And actually made it a good card, had like a good co-main and everything. We'll check that out in a second. I'm just going to hit play. No one really saw this interview. You know, it went pretty under the radar. There's things that this cunt said that are fucking mind-boggling to me. And mostly because he's got supposedly two Australians sitting next to him, and they're just accepting this. They're fucking just, he's pissing on their faces and they're just fucking asking for more. I don't fucking get it.
You know, we have an American versus a South African in the main event in Australia, and it's sold out, and it's, you know.
And that's his favourite fucking line. Sold out event. Listen, I'm sure heaps of them sell out, but this dog shit you put in front of us, this fucking shit, this didn't sell out. When this episode came out, this was a Friday, right? So the way that the tickets work, it goes in sections. So there was like P12 to P1, all right? When I checked, this was on Friday, right? There was 9 of those available. So 9 sections of 12 sections available. Pretty much with seats in every single section left over. Now, was there single seats left over here and there? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean it's sold out, right? You can't have a fucking bunch of spare sections and then go, this place is sold out. They probably gave away a bunch of those fucking tickets. I was there, Marvel Stadium, Melbourne, Robert Whittaker versus Adesanya. That was a huge stadium event. The whole fucking top row was empty. I saw people posting about it on what was called Twitter back then, saying like, this is interesting. They were saying this is going to be the biggest event in UFC history. Fucking lot of empty seats. And they do, you know, I think if you go back, you can see that Dana, when he was saying that was the highest attended UFC event of all time, he normally gets fucking jack hard about that shit and will never stop talking about it. He fucking just moved on from that real quick, and they just pretty much never talked about it again. Like, it still has that stat, and I'm sure that there's some sort of technicality that made that true, but again, I was fucking there. I reckon they gave a bunch of tickets away, and I know that they do that. They give tickets away when events starting to not sell too well, dropping ticket prices. There were events that sell out, absolutely, but this was not fucking one of them. And the bots that are fucking saying it in the chat, one of the bots writes on one of my comments, unequivocally false what you're saying. I just checked in, general admission is sold out. Where the fuck are they looking? There's no general admission. As I've said it before, it works in sections. So that was just genuinely a fucking bot. And I reckon the UFC just pay for these cunts to just post shit like that. And I'm just adding this in post. I'm editing the video and I'm kind of thinking about it and I just want to have this on there. I was like 8 seats from the front and I paid, 8 rows I mean, and I paid $350 Australian to do that. That was like 4 years ago. That's how fucking much the tickets have gone up. Look how massive that fucking stadium is. Look how many cunts are there. I paid $350 to sit like fucking 8 from the front. Way down there. I was actually the seat right next to the where the fighters walk out. I was fucking high-fiving cunts and shit. This was my first UFC event actually. And now, fuck, I went to Sean Strickland and Adesanya in Sydney. I think I paid $650 to sit level 2 at the front of level 2. That's fucking wild.
It's fascinating because people just care about who the best in the world is. They don't have to be from Australia or from Los Angeles or whatever. It's one of the cool things about this sport.
You could just see Chris just staring at him as he's saying this, and then you just hope here that Boris is about to interrupt him and hopefully say to him, yeah, but where are the fucking ranked fighters, Dana?
And I think that's a really good point you make there, because your point is that the way you structure the fights, and then Chris said it a moment ago too, is you're going to be watching the best matched up against the best. There's no bullshit around this place.
Yeah.
But are we fucking pretending Dreykus versus Sean Strickland 2 was the best against the best? The best against the best was Dreykus versus Chimaev. There was no fucking reason to do Sean Strickland. There was none. And now we've passed the event. We've all just been confirmed that it was a total waste of fucking time.
And it's actually weird because when we go into places, and if I had the card too full of Australians, Australia doesn't love it. Australia wants to see the people they watch on pay-per-view that they don't get the opportunity to see all the time.
If you have the card too full of Australians don't want to watch it. I just fucking don't understand how these two and the guy and fucking Mark Boris. Oh, yep. These two guys sitting there listening to this like it's valid. Like that's a real fucking thing. We don't want to watch any of our ranked fighters. How many fucking ranked fighters do we have on the card before this? The card coming after this, and then the one after that. Not fucking one ranked fighter was on this card. This is a spit. This comment right here from Dana is a fucking joke. I understand he's a promoter. Promote away. But for the two New South Wales Premier, the taxpayer is paying $16 million to the UFC to fucking be there. He says that shit and you're just not going, listen, mate, we want JDM. We want Volkanovski. We want Robert Whittaker. We want Carlos fucking Olberg. Give us something, you pig.
And it's like that when we go to Brazil. It's like that when we go to Mexico. It's like that when we go to Canada. This is a very unique sport.
But like boxing, you guys could have just
love boxing. Shut the fuck up, fucking clown. I actually messaged this guy. He said some nice shit about MMA at one point, and I was like, hey, I mad respect that. You know, Australia at one point, it was a pretty contentious thing to be a fan of MMA. I remember at one point, The Project, it's some bullshit fucking thing here in Australia, but there was a show, a news broadcast thing. It's more of a personality thing rather than actual journalism, but it's called The Project. They interviewed Dana after the Dolly incident with Conor McGregor, and full just pretended like they didn't know what the Embedded series was and acted like, oh, why were the cameras there, Dana? I'm going to put a clip of it right now. And like, it's just self-explanatory. Do 2 seconds, 2-second Google search. That's actual journalism. They deliberately pretended like they didn't know because older Australians view the UFC as like WWE.
I don't know if there have been any real punishments handed out to these guys, the big price that they've paid. Let's just be totally honest. Let's be real. You love this stuff, and it's great for promotions, right?
Well, let me tell you what. We have a hearing in front of the Nevada State Athletic Commission that's coming up in December. And then they will lay down fines, suspensions and whatever else they're going to do. They were actually coming after me too for the promotion of the fight. So no, it was a bad night, and believe me, everybody asked me this question. This happened and it was bad, but it's good for your business. It's really not good for business when things like that happen. We don't need that type of stuff to sell a fight.
But you don't suspend them. You don't do any. And then in the bus situation where McGregor's attacking that bus, there's like high-def cameras ready to capture it, like, so that the image, the vision's great. Like, it just looks like you're all over this.
Well, we do a show called UFC Embedded where we follow the fighters around. So those cameras were there when that happened because of that. But do you understand? He got arrested. He went to jail.
And look, as an Australian, I'm sorry about that guy. We don't like him either. I don't think fucking any. Like, this guy speaks to, like, your mum and dad, you know what I mean? Like, they watch like a current affair, they're watching 60 Minutes, they're not looking into actually anything. They just look at UFC and go like, oh, it's a fucking blood sport. This guy, he fucking knows Embedded's real. He knows why the cameras are there. It doesn't fucking matter. He's just going after his audience, and his audience, unfortunately, are very naive people. Ultimately, I just really don't understand how a state minister, the guy who's in charge of saying, oh, yep, here's 16 million bucks, mate, all good, happy days, is satisfied that this card is going to be bringing in the tourism and bringing in the revenue into the state that it's supposed to do. That's why we're paying for it, right? No one's fucking flying here for fucking Dreykus versus Sean. Even for me, I travel, I'm from Victoria, right? I go to Sydney if there's a good card. I went there for Adesanya and Strickland. That was decent enough. I was never going there for this fucking dog shit. Never fucking going there for this dog shit. You just look at like, Zhang and Suarez, unfortunately, getting caught in the crossfire of this. And it's not Dreykus' fault either, but the matchup of Dreykus and Sean Strickland makes not that it makes zero fucking sense, but it has zero appeal. It almost needs to be a co-main, right? This was a total miss, a fucking total miss. They've missed that many times. Sometimes not even to the UFC's fault. It's just that somehow fighters, for whatever reason, have really bad luck here. You know, the first two fights, like Jubilee, right? Like, why did you redeem? Fucking boom, gone. That was great. And then that next fight, honestly, I feel bad. I can't remember. Oh, Quinlan. Oh, no, he was the first fight. Oh, yeah, he knocked him out. Well, that's how bad it is. I can't even remember the second fight, but it was good, you know? It was a decent fight. Everything else on this fucking card sucked. And if it didn't suck, it was forgettable, right? We had nothing to walk away with this from. Oh, Dreykus beat Sean. Decision. Fantastic. Okay, we all probably overestimated Suarez a little bit. Maybe there was something going on there. But Zhang reminded us, you know, it was a classic example of you must have forgot. You know what I mean? This was just a total fucking waste of time, and I really expect our leaders, the people using the taxpayer money, to strong arm these companies coming over here to sell us an event to give us the best event they can. And I don't think this was the best event they could do. They had Adesanya on the weekend before. They're having JDM fight 3 weeks from now in fucking London. You know, and Edwards has had 2 main events in London. Why the fuck isn't that here? And again, all right, let's say you can't do those. Let's go for the not the bottom of the barrel, but let's go for the, the B tiers, even the C tiers, Kai Kara France versus Cape. Why aren't we doing that? That's an achievable fight to do. I just don't understand how that hasn't even happened yet. There's a story, there's some juice there. Look, and to close it out, I know some of the commentary fucking online is, oh, but they're giving the, the new guys a chance. Well, fuck you, bro. If you've been watching for longer than a year, you would know that those new guys were going to get a chance anyway. Of course they're going to get a chance. It's part of being an early prelim or a prelim fighter. You don't think they would have already been there? What we got on the main card was tougher and Crute. I'm not going to give any disrespect towards Jake Matthews. I think Jake Matthews hasn't really been able to put it together, and I do see a good skill ceiling for him, if that makes sense. But with Crute and with Tougher, Crute's got 1 foot out the fucking door. If you keep, tabs on his career, he's out, mate. Like, he's dead set out. And Tougher, like, you know, he gets in there, he bangs, but when it doesn't go his way, it's over. You know, like I said, I was there in Melbourne, and it was another one shot, and he was done. You know, mad respect. I got mad respect for everybody that gets in there. But there's, you know, again, I think us as fans, that's why we have rankings. There's levels to it. And to have so many of those guys on the main card that you're paying for, you're putting fucking $70 down to watch, and you're getting tougher and fucking crude. You know, it just isn't there. It's not a mark that's been hit. Good on the blokes, you know, but they're not worthy of being paid to watch at the moment. Anyway, my first video, probably a few controversial things said, but I'm going to keep doing it. So, peace.